Hello, I'm Julia Bushkova. Today I am going to look into Massenet meditation from the opera Thaïs. That it has been a request from quite a few subscribers, and well, today I'm going to look into it for you. So I have played this piece, I have been playing actually, I should say, probably for many years. I've never played it as a student, by the way, and I'm very glad about this because it's a great piece. I love it. I love the music. I love the color and the feel of it. And so that's how I approach it, okay? So I know there are tons of recordings of Thaïs, and to tell the truth, when I started looking into it, learning, I did not listen to any. And as a matter of fact, before I started looking into this, which we're talking about like 30 years ago, but nevertheless, I didn't really hear many Thaïses, luckily. I don't know, I think in Russia they maybe weren't playing that much back then. So, or I didn't remember. Anyway, I started from what I would call scratch. I had the score, I had the part, and now I know that pretty much every edition has the same or almost the same bowings. Fingerings may be different, but I never look at anybody else's fingerings. I usually always find my own. And bowings as well, too. So here, the main things. For me, my take on Thaïs. I wanted it to sound true to what I think that music is, because I knew where it is in the opera and what the opera is all about. And I had a very personal relationship with this woman called Thaïs. And I'm not going to go into this right now because it's another topic. But because of this, I would build it, perhaps not even every time the way it is scored in the music, by the way. So I have my own view on it. Okay, so here I have the music, and I will kind of go from what's on the page and what I'm doing and how I'm doing this to help you with your developing your own concept, hopefully, developing your own view of it, okay? So, first of all, it does require good sound. It does require command of the bow so that the bow doesn't slide off the correct contact point, whatever that is that you want to express, right? So it has required good developed vibrato. And then expression. Now, what is expression? Expression is mostly in the bow. Some of it is in vibrato, some of it is everywhere, both. But what we see here when we start 1, 2, 3 is on down bow and 4 is on up bow. So what the first thing I want people, myself and anybody else, not to sound like is this. Clearly, that stuck out. We don't want that. So how I went by making sure that mine doesn't do it is to play everything on the slur, as much on the slur, much more on the slur than it is actually written. So for instance, like this. So then you have this uninterrupted line, much less interrupted, because of course you have to change the bow anyway. So going from there, I would go then, okay, so now I want to sound like this, only yes, I will still change the bow here, and what would I do? I will not use a lot of bow there. Then I would be compensating by speed and pressure and the correct contact point stuff. Well, honestly, for me, I would do it unconsciously. I would not think about which contact point I want to be in, because by that time I already, I played like that, so I knew where the bow should be just by feel and by sound. And that's what I think the people should do. They, should play this piece when they kind of feel where it should sound like what, So save a bit here, save a bit there, all the way, Good bow changes are necessary. Vibrato. Now about vibrato. What I personally absolutely hate and detest and despise is vibrato that starts late. Like this. Either people really like it or they don't notice it. I don't know which way. But to me, that's not beautiful at all. It's I mean, we usually have a term for this. In classical music, we have a term, we call it pop singer vibrato. What is good in pop music is not necessarily good in classical music, in my opinion. So here we go. Not starting vibrato late, you can start before or right with your bow. Okay, so that would be number one. The same thing on B and the same thing on every other note. I won't stop about this anymore. Now I do these fingerings. Can you stay in one position? Of course you can. You can do this. And play harmonic. Now if you do harmonic, I would not do like 3-4. No, I would do 3-3. Sounds much better. Now, next thing is very important. You know what's written there? Okay, so this. That's what's in my part printed, and that's what in many parts printed. I never like this, so I want more connection, so I would play. I like that connection there. Then, of course, you have to deal with the down bow. Well, I'll take that. Again, you can save the bow. And I would never want to do ta 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 ta, so I will put it on the same bow. But of course, it is like steps, right? So a little bit of lure or portato, whichever way you call it. That says forte there. Don't take it literally. It's not forte that you're going to. Of course not. It's very still dolce. So then we're coming to the third line in my part. It's like beginning. So I won't show the first two bars. Set third bar. The music changes a little bit there. Okay, so here in my part, there is the shift onto the first finger, which I would do because it's really cool and it works. Just the shift has to be nice. Now in the printed part, there are dashes under the slur. Can you play it slurred? I think absolutely, if you feel like that. Or do little dashes. But by no means they can be. Now after this, let me see what's in my music. So after that we have F sharp, long F sharp, slur up, and the fourth finger. I do like it. I think it's a good fingering. Okay, but maybe it won't work for somebody. So if it doesn't work for somebody, do 2-2. Shift down. Then in the part, interestingly, so here it gives you. Actually, yeah, in my part it says 3, third harmonic. I absolutely don't like it. I really don't like it. Why? Because it sounds sudden. Harmonics have to have a purpose. They do what? Harmonics are ethereal, you know. They can sound really screamy, you know, like this, you know, like you want to sometimes accent, whatever, upper note can be harmonic like this. Or it sounds ethereal and sort of flowing away, like here. There it fits. Here, I absolutely don't understand why they keeps putting that in all the editions. I think it's probably just old edition. You know, it's a French edition. The first one would be in reprints of that. And just in the old days, you used to a lot more harmonics where they fit for us now or not. They don't. Well, here it doesn't. So either you go, like I do a little what I call a glissando here, a gliss, or maybe without it. You know, some other fingers, but I wouldn't do harmonic. And then I will go down here. Now that is another harmonic. That's when it flies away. So, and it changes the music, so moves it into another line, another feel. Okay, so here we go. Now we have what I would probably call development. It's the B section of this piece. So where new material is and things are moving and they are modulating different keys. And it starts right away here from, to me, it's clearly there is some anxiety there. So for instance, I would not play just nothing, you know, so yeah. Change vibrato. Vibrato has to become faster. You will be in piano, hopefully. Why not in forte? Can it be forte? Well, it could be. And then what we're going to do? It's a long phrase. So piano works much better because you have to develop that phrase together with its own development, harmonic development. So vibrato faster. The bow is in a contact point closer to the fingerboard. Would probably call it number 4. First goes in here, then continues up. Now, here, again, what are the bowings in printed bowings? I believe actually maybe they are what I'm playing. I'm not sure already anymore, but if it sounded that big, you must be bigger on this next. You see, so not possible. So careful with that bow distribution. I call that bow distribution, right? How we distribute the bow, how we use the bow. My expression is bow distribution. So yes, careful with too much crescendo too soon on some one bow. Then you have to compensate. Not a good idea. Okay, here. See, not the whole bow was. Now, that is what I do. Yeah, I won't play what is written there. I think that's what's written in that part that I'm playing off. No, I will play it more flowing, flowing and flowing. Now, here I go to the A string. Yeah, I hope, because the character is still very soulful and it's not screamy on E string. So in here, actually, yeah, I guess they also recommend the same thing. Again, you know, if somebody plays it and they're not ready really to play it and they want to play it in first position, well, I suppose they could, but they won't play it in Carnegie Hall. So let me hear. Again, dashes, these are written there. I would call them, for myself or for my students, I'll call them, they're bad legato, you know, they're slurs, but not really. So again, nobody wants to make dashes too much. I wouldn't ever. Now, next thing, this nice were, you know, very soul stirring, you know, moment here. It is scored like that. You know, that way. Too small for me. So I have the expression, I get the expression that needs to be there, and I play it on one bow. So, da-da-dum, or that way, okay? So it flows again better for me. And for me here, that's the point when it goes into stillness. And from that stillness, something starts unfolding. Not just, oh, there's diminuendo to piano. No, 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 it's much more that. In fact, here, let me see. It doesn't say anything here. Anyway, and that B flat, but I feel that it's definitely piano, it's definitely with harmony. And from here starts new. Now from that, in that very ethereal moment, I would not want to do again what's printed there in the part. What's printed is this. Even if I do it nicely. Many bow changes. Why should I bother with those bow changes when I actually character is definitely not outgoing, right? So I put them on one slur. And that's when we get to the molto appassionato, okay? So that develops there. And here actually, yeah, I am doing the slurs exactly like they are. They fit music perfectly. However, right from here, from that F, the slurs, or rather lack of them, I believe that that's what's written in there. Let me check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what's actually in printed music. Yeah, everything is separate bows. No, not comfortable. So I would do the meaning of that. Yes, it's emphatic. I feel it has to go to that G. And then it continues to the F. Now, that is a big difference when we play that with piano and when we play this actually as a soloist in the orchestra or concertmaster plays it, right? Then the whole group will play that section. So that's very different. What you will do there is not what you will do on stage when you have the piano with you. So I treat this here not as orchestral score, I treat this as the solo piece with accompaniment. And therefore I would do rubato. I would choose the fingerings, like for instance to be on G string, to continue being on G string. When you're with the orchestra, it doesn't matter where you are, you know, so you can play on these, nobody will hear you anyway. And the third time is the biggest. And after this, things start sort of unraveling and changes from this almost irate character to coming back to where you started. Okay, so and then it goes to the same B, and I will choose to do it on the A string because that's a transformation. It goes there, but then here it transforms into the Thaïs that will be now. Thaïs that lived through all the turmoils and came to realization where she really belongs. Anyway, so fingerings. Do I recommend these fingerings for everybody? No. Why do I play? I used to play fourth there. As I said, I think, if I didn't mention, I have been playing it for a long time, many times. So obviously, when you return to a piece, you change certain approach, you change certain phrasing, even though en masse, so to speak, my phrasing, my intent will stay the same. But yeah, I will change some phrasings. You know, some years I will do this, some other years I will feel more like that. The same thing with these fingerings. So, but I always will do a G string. But I did used to and right now, it won't sound good for me for a number of reasons. I won't get into this. So I need to use 3. I will use 3. But I used to do 4, 3, 1, for a lot of years. Anyway, it's possible. You can also do it on D string, of course. You can fingering it so that you're here. Okay, and then after this, again, right now I played here. By the way, little secret, I don't know which bowings I will play on stage ever. Whatever happens, but I don't recommend it to beginners. Okay, so for beginners, no, it's not a good idea. No, I don't mean total beginners. I mean, at the beginning of playing this piece, it's better to have a really nice plan what you're going to do, and then when you're very free, then sometimes you can just give yourself the license to. It will come out. For me, I know one thing. I need this. These 3 notes, I need to have 2 last notes and up, up. That's all I know. What I do before, I will come out that way. Because I need that B and down. Now, I know that many people here do a really pretty nice something of that sort. Many people do a little glissando there. I choose not to do it because I think it's too sensuous for where this music is. For me, at least, that's definitely so. So, sometimes things are very pretty, like little pretty detail. It's just like, great, like just do it there. Oh, that person does it so prettily, so nice. I'm going to do it like this. I would never go by that road, actually. Never. And I advise my students not to do it because you want to have your own line of how you see this music unfolding. So for me, Thaïs comes here to realization of the sublime. And the sublime, it never can have that sensuous shift. It just can't. So for me, it just transforms from one string to another. But of course, for that, you do have to have a good vibrato on your 4th finger. If you don't, well, I suppose you can do that way too. If you agree with the idea of the sublime, yeah. So my idea here, not all the time I will succeed, actually. As a matter of fact, even on stage, sometimes you just get more excited. But my original idea here and feeling is it's almost like her soul has already departed. I mean, is departing, We know she dies, right, at the end of the opera. So anyway, for me, sometimes I play it like this, just like on those slurs, like I said in the beginning, to do it for the correct expression, bow distribution matters. I mean, here, I would actually strive to do it. If I'm lucky, on some performances, I would do it that way. If not, then I will still change bows and play with the beginning bows that I used to do in the beginning. But still, the character should be this for me. And so on. So this one goes unchanged, that's a repeat of like in the beginning. Then what I also feel a little bit different from how it's printed in the music. In the music, everything is the same. That whole thing is the same, no changes. But there is a change in the piano part. Okay, so there's a change in the piano part at the accompaniment, right at that. And here, the piano doesn't play the D, it plays the C natural. So even though in my part it says again the same thing, crescendo to forte, ritenuto, and then piano again, I just don't agree with this. Why? I mean, well, maybe in the orchestra it will be different. Well, not really. No, it should continue. Here's C natural. Now, this is completely me. I am not suggesting to anybody unless you feel it and you want to do it, fine. A second time is much bigger for me. And here I want to really, because this is a last climax, it's a last peak of this fervor, basically. I mean, she's fervently thinking about God and about the kingdom of heaven, kingdom of God. And so, yeah, I would unslow the bows and I would do more crescendo. So coming down is pretty long here. You know, last look in there. That's why I like to have a slide on the way back. It's like the eyes, you know, from and down, honestly. And then it comes to piano gives the bass. Now I choose to do these fingerings. I don't know what they give you here. I don't know, nothing. I think they give you no fingerings. Or, I don't know. I would do 1-1. And again, I do have a good vibrato on the fourth, so I'm using it. If somebody doesn't, then, well, you need to figure out your own fingerings then. You'd be like, I don't know. I would not get into there. You figure it out here, of course. Oh, it's actually 4. In my score, it does say 4. Well, anyway, I would do 4 no matter what. This one I don't do on down bow. I don't know why it still says, how is it possible to do this on up? It's printed up. Then it's printed down. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, down on D. You're playing it with piano, I will cue. And so on. So harmonics can be played there, if you like. They can be played easier variant, like foolproof, you know. If you're worried about your harmonics, take that version. Or it could also be played. That's the version I am using these days. But well, for recording, I probably maybe would do this one, the stay in one position one. But if I'm on stage, I would use either higher there or this one. Even though in the music, it suggests to you that you use this. Oh yeah, that's another one. I forgot. Let's do this. I would not want to. You know what? I just wouldn't want to cross over the D string. Honestly, no. God forbid there will be what I call soup. I call it soup, like some sounds in between the bows when you go over that string. I would do it. That's why I would go on D string and then on A. But yes, you could do that one. All right, so that's my take on Thaïs. Yeah, here we are. I hope it has been helpful. I hope if you liked it, you did like this video. And I certainly hope that if you watched that to the end, you are subscribed to my channel or you're subscribed right now. And I will see you all later.